Okay, everyone. Let's call our meeting to order. Would you please stand, remove any headgear, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are all present and accounted for. We have two additions to the agenda. One I'd like to put on as A1, and it's a resolution authorizing issuance of certificates. We'll get into that as it appears. And the other one is E, and that's the okay of the Bomber Dance Team itinerary for their Disney trip. Again, we will call that E. Does anyone have anything else for the cause? If not, I would look for an approval of the agenda with the amendments.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion by Kurt, seconded by Jerry. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Scheduled presenters, we have none.
Nope, I will have one. I'm going to have one the second board meeting of every month.
Okay.
I'll have a presenter for you.
Okay.
Who we got?
Public forum. Anyone wishing to speak for any cause associated with the school district?
Kind of light on the administrative bureau.
I sent them all home because of the freezing rain.
Okay, that item is closed.
Except Jake because he lives in town.
Suck it up, buttercup.
You don't count, Jake.
You live one block from me. You can do it.
I'll be okay.
No old business. Under new biz, resolution canvassing returns of votes of the school district general election. Detailed election results will be available from the counties on Monday. Beth, would you like to speak to that at all?
This is just part of the process. We welcome Mr. Banks to our board, and I'm really excited to get you up with MSBA and some of those things. But before we can do that, we need to have a resolution to canvass those results.
Okay. Motion by Kurt. You were just stepping in there, weren't you?
I'll do the second.
Second by Pat. Okay, this is a resolution, so I'll turn it over to our clerk.
Okay, resolution canvassing returns of votes of school district general election. Need to read?
What else do we need here on that?
Yep. We are going to have to place the names in there now. Letter 3. You need to fill in the names, so we have it on record. So if you could say Kurt Beisel.
Not very big spaces.
And Rob Stevenella. And then if you could read number 3.
Number 3. Okay. Kurt Beisel, Josh Banks, Rob Suppenother, having received the highest number of votes, are elected to 4 four-year terms. Not 4 four-year terms, but 1 four-year term, beginning on the first Monday in January 2015. Resolution, we'll go around starting with Kurt,
Yes.
Pat,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Brenda, yes, and Rob.
Yes.
Okay, that resolution passes by a 6-0 vote. And again, a little preliminary, but congratulations. We'll deal with that at the January meeting a little bit deeper. Item A1, another resolution. And that would be specifically what? Resolution authorizing issuance of certs
The bold letters. Yep.
of election and directing the school district clerk to perform other election-related duties. Do you need to read anything on that?
No, you
Do you
don't
need to
have
make a
to.
motion?
Yes,
Yes.
the first.
I'll
I
make
wanted
a
to make
motion.
sure.
I'll second.
Motion by Jerry, seconded by Brenda. Any reading on this?
No. You're just giving the authorization of the clerk to forward this when the results come in.
Okay.
They're 2 separate items.
Okay. Anyone have any
Okay.
questions on it?
This is a vote for the resolution authorizing issuance of certificates of election and directing the school district clerk to perform other election-related duties. We'll start with Rob.
Yes.
Brenda, yes. Jerry?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
And Kurt.
Yes.
Okay, consideration to approve the world's best workforce summary.
Okay, I see that Lori put that in here as an attachment. I have extra copies if anyone wants one of those. This is the actual world's best workforce. I'm going to be one of your presenters coming up, presenting on all of this information. But what's required, the state of Minnesota realized as soon as they started getting all these documents at 163 pages, that made no sense. So what they wanted was a summary. And it's really important that this board understand what the world's best workforce really is. You've heard things in the past like curriculum instruction reports and things like that. That'll be no longer. That'll all be in here. So basically the first line says the annual curriculum and instruction report has now become the world's best workforce plan. This is basically our long-term strategic plan. Art was a big part of that committee when we worked on the strategic plan. That is now all involved in here. It also talks about all the assessments that the Cannon Falls schools will use, including STAR, Ames Web, MCA, to get all of that information to you. This will be your yearly report from here on out. It talks about staff development and the opportunities to focus on best practices. And then as a part of the world's best workforce, school districts have been asked to implement data and use to monitor the success of the strategies and initiatives, and all of that response is in there. So this plan, and I see she actually did miss the second page of it. You may want to take a copy of this so that you have a summary. This is what's submitted to the state. And just so you know, we've already submitted it and we got a perfect score back. So it is done, it is submitted, and we got the highest score that you can get on the plan. If you have any direct questions now, I can answer it. This is the part that needs to be approved by you. I certainly will be presenting on this so you understand more clearly, what we're working towards at a later time.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Brenda, seconded by Rob. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Consideration to approve the first reading of policy series 500, 600, and miscellaneous policies.
I actually did not put any additional miscellaneous on there. It is all the 500s and 600s. If you have any specific questions, I can go over those. A couple of you called with questions, and I answered those as we went along, so I appreciate you reading them ahead of time. The 500s are what we use all the time. I mean, the principals and myself use those because they're student-related, so.
Beth, how do we, I'm sorry, go ahead. With profile learning, I was looking at, was that repealed? We don't do profile learning. What was it? And
Oh,
it's in the policies, and it's like, do we just throw that out altogether then for anything that contains that?
Don't change it. It's just we've seen it come full circle. I mean, there's a lot of things that have, profiles of learning is just a name of,
So
is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, I'm just wondering
I
if
think
we
I'm
don't
confused on what you're
utilize it.
asking.
Some of the policies just mention that, touch on that, but we don't have that anymore for profiles of learning. We
No
don't
one in the
utilize-
state, no.
So should we just throw that out of these policies?
No.
We
You
don't.
want to make sure you have every single policy that the state has.
Okay,
And MSBA also covers that policy.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
You want to have that in there.
okay.
So should we get rid of miscellaneous policies on this motion list?
You can if you want, because you're not doing any of them tonight. That'd be fine. It's 500s and 600s. I actually I called Deb on one today because it was 612.1. It was the only one that had a decimal point in it. But nothing to worry about. So
No, and I looked at some of them, they looked like they were like duplicates on the same one.
that's all cleaned up now. I got that as of 1 o'clock today. It's all.
Okay.
Yep.
We get another reading of it.
How about for this is why I looked over them, because they're kind of starting to deal with the meats and potatoes of it, because we're talking about school district accountabilities.
Mhm.
And 616, that had to do with kind of what we're going over with, maybe along the same lines of the world's best workforce, is
The ramp up.
the ramp up, but in there, they always had deadlines, and I don't think we had put deadlines to, when things were gonna be measured in relation to how they're gonna be measured. And there's always an area in there that's saying this is to be determined by our own district. I think we probably have to have a date established?
We
for that?
could, but what happens is exactly what happened this year is the MDE sends you a notice saying needs to be turned in by a certain date.
Mhm.
So if they're going to mandate the times when things have to be turned in, wouldn't it be better to just follow when MDE wants that material? Or would you feel better about having specific dates in there?
Well, I suppose just so that we have a guideline anyway, so as long as we know when that's gonna take place.
Okay.
You know, that's
But do
all.
we know?
Does the MDE have a set timeline that they?
It does,
follow?
I mean, think of all the things that you approve at board meetings.
Mhm.
Lori does a really nice job of making sure those are on each year so that you are in compliance with everything.
Are we held liable to that? I guess that's my
If we put
question.
it in a policy, wouldn't we have to have it in by then to follow the policy and make it, I mean, if we leave it out, then we're open. If we put it in, then that's the
Do
day
any
we
of you
have to live
have
with.
an iPad I can use quick share to
My-
yours here?
I guess
Can
my
Can you look
question
up
is-
617 for me,
I
616?
think we're supposed to have timelines based upon state.
Do you want
Or can they just
He's
make
referencing
it
616.
MDE?
What's that?
Or can
Per
they just- per
MDE.
MDE.
Requirements.
I suppose we could do that if
Then,
that's.
then we're covered in every aspect. Now
Sure.
we're not set to our own deadline.
We're on MDEs,
But we're
if
on
they change it
MDEs.
to 2 year or whatever.
Right.
Mhm.
If they,
Or change it 6 months later.
right,
That'd
for
be-
whatever reason it gets pushed out or something.
Yeah, as long as we have.
You have it up right now?
I guess there's just so areas on the policies where it says, please, this is where you should put your own district policy here within this policy.
But our
And-
policies really aren't our
Thank you so
policies.
much.
What's that?
Our policies really aren't our policies.
Right.
We've adopted them.
From the state.
Yeah.
Right, but there is some in there that even the state doesn't, they just, a guideline, okay, now at this point, put in what your district holds as a standard guideline, I guess, or something. I'm
But-
just wondering, we've got it there, but we've got nothing there to hold us to it. If something comes up, it's like, well, where is it in your policy then? Well, we don't really have it, but, we can refer to, or some of these, I guess I'd almost have to have the policies in front of us to explain it, but if you look down, it breaks it down, and it says, okay, now please refer to, this is where your own policy or procedures should go. I guess procedures maybe? And I wonder if we don't have those procedures in place, and maybe some places we do, and then I guess my question is, do we have those procedures, and if they are there, shouldn't we put them in? Make
Well,
sense?
can we, I guess? I mean,
Sure, oh, absolutely you can.
I guess that's what I'm more concerned about, if something ever comes up and we have to go back to our policies and procedures, we better have them in there that explains why we do what we do, rather than saying, well, they're in here someplace, we got it, well, it's just kind of, we took it upon ourselves that this is what we're doing.
So you're, basically what you're asking is the ones that fall outside of the MDE, you want a time limit?
Yeah, there might be, I guess that'd be my question with all of them. Are we following MDE for all of them, or are some of them our own? and-
MSBA.
Or MSBA?
Yeah.
Are some of them our own, or are some of them, are we specific enough for that? Or are we gonna get ourselves into a little bit of a?
Legal counsel would say to follow MSBA as much as you possibly can. That's why we had Deb go through and pull out everything that was, when you originally saw them in there, the pink, like we talked about, was
Mhm.
things that other administrators had added in because we had been to a conference or something and we thought that was important. I mean, our legal counsel now would like you to follow MSBA as much as possible.
There's one in there where I witnessed or saw that this was Winona's policy. It wasn't ours. It's saying, thank you to Winona District for offering their example of what they believe, and I can't remember what that was for. But it wasn't ours. And those are the things I'm concerned about, where.
If we adopted, it's ours.
But I don't think we did. So I'm just wondering if we're specific enough, or are we too generalized? Are we doing ourselves more harm by not, this is our policy, this is what we're gonna follow, these are the procedures
Well,
we.
And I really do love this conversation, but this really is what policy committee is for.
Okay.
So what my recommendation is then to wait on these, and we can take
Okay.
it to policy committee, because to do it here, that isn't the intent at all.
Right, and that's good. One more question is do we have and you can answer this one, Beth or Tim, what is a house, a highly objective, uniform state standard of evaluation reviewer?
In what
That was in staff development, 619. And I was just wondering if you want to look that up and just see what that is. I don't know if we have, if that's just a big name for someone that just reviews everything or what that is, but it says it's required. And I'm just, it's like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? So, you know, so I'm just checking it out.
Do you remember which one it's under?
No,
if
I
I read the
don't.
whole thing, I could probably tell you.
Yeah, I really don't know right offhand, but
Okay.
these are just some things that came up as I was going through them, you know.
So would you like to table this pending policy review?
I would
Policy,
I don't
really,
know.
really encourage you to first read the 500s. They are, we've all worked very, very hard on
Mhm.
the 500s. They are ready to go. They need to be in place.
Yep.
Let me ask this
Strongly
question.
encourage you to do that.
This is our first reading, so if we
Right.
approve the first reading, but we do change between the first and the second, what happens?
I would feel better if you really felt good about your first reading, though. I mean, I know that's what the second
I think
reading's
my
intent.
biggest issues are maybe in the 600s. They just kind of hit a
Okay.
little bit more closer to home
And
as to.
we so rarely use those, but.
Yeah, maybe with the 500s, maybe the 524 internet access uses, that changed with us going with the iPad initiative and all that. Have we looked at those close enough as to what might be an issue, which may not?
I think we've really looked at that one a
Okay.
lot. I think
Okay.
that's probably one that we have beat to
We're good
death
there.
almost.
Okay, sounds good.
So could we make a motion to approve the 500 and table the
What
600?
do you mean?
600 and miscellaneous as well?
Oh, we pulled miscellaneous.
What?
I'd like to ask
What?
It's,
something.
okay.
What?
Yeah, you put a lot of work into this.
What
You
if-
have an
Well, I'm
opinion?
frustrated that I had that all done as of today. There was no pink and green left. So I'm not sure what she's referencing because I had all that done, but.
I was wondering if it'd be possible, on the first reading, I think in the past we've seen the markup on these, or we've seen what the changes were. So, because otherwise we're just reading them cold and we don't know what's being changed. Is that a possibility to go back to that?
Be hundreds of pages of printing, but we
There's a lot.
did that.
They
Well-
wouldn't have to be printed, they could be posted to Google.
Yeah, highlight the old.
Just with
and
the
then-
track changes on, and then.
Yeah, that's, we can share the revisions.
Google Docs can
Yeah.
do that.
Just share the track changes and then, in the first reading, and then.
And things like that, don't ever hesitate to
Don't
ask
need 'em
ahead of time.
printed.
I mean, that's something we could have totally had ready for tonight and had that ready to go for you. So the great comment, but those are kind of examples of ahead of time, if we can get that information, then we can have it
But
ready.
no, I'm
for
not
you.
asking for you to go back to it now, but
No,
I would like
no,
to
no,
ask you
it-
that.
it won't be
going
difficult,
forward, yeah.
no.
So are we ready to approve 500?
If you've already accepted all the revisions.
I would like to see the first reading of the 500s done tonight, yes.
So would we make a motion to approve the 500s, table the 600s, and miscellaneous?
That's fine. If you
Or
want to do it
just
that
make a
way.
motion to approve the 500.
I'll make a motion to approve the 500s,
I'll second.
table the 600s and miscellaneous policies.
Motion by Jerry to only approve the 500 this evening, seconded by Brenda. Other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item D, consideration of the resolution relating to the reduction of programs. Here we go.
It's always this time of year, you need to allow the administration to start looking at reductions. We'll be putting together a timeline for you at your retreat and getting that to you, be after the first of the year. But we cannot start talking about those things unless you make a resolution to do so.
We've already had this discussion. I guess we've never put it into official format. Here we go, doing that. So
Okay, it's-
we would need a
Oh,
motion.
need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
To what?
Motion by Pat,
Yeah, you've done this resolution every single year.
Yeah, we do.
seconded by
I'll second.
Jerry. And this is the consideration of the resolution relating to the reduction in programs, which makes it official.
Let's vote for the resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in programs and positions and reasons therefore. Kurt?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Brenda, yes. Rob?
Yes.
Okay, that
Thank you.
passes by a 6-0 vote. Okay, clipping right along. Item E on your agenda is the Bomber Dance Team itinerary. We've approved the trip, but needed to review the itinerary, correct? Jake?
Correct, yeah. State high school requires us to, so.
Any additions? Any?
No, Jamie worked really hard on getting this done. She's put a lot of work into planning this trip, and making this all work out, so.
How many chaperones are required? Is there a certain amount?
No, there's not a certain amount, but I don't, and I can't tell you how many are going, but it's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many girls from the dance team are going?
I could get you that number too, I don't know.
I think there's.
I
I think everybody, I don't think anybody's not going, I know, this guy's not gonna go.
So everybody's going.
Yeah.
Do we know what the final cost was on that? Per,
Wait, it was,
the $750?
but it was less per dancer. I'm sorry, it was so long ago we proved it. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I know it was
The master
compared
plan.
to what it would become, though.
Yeah,
you know,
and I think I
we give a
confirmed it.
range.
Yeah, and I had confirmed it, I don't remember what it was now.
I think they raised enough at that kickathon.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I think it was just the deposit rate.
Yeah.
They had a $250 deposit.
$250 I remember.
Yeah, $250.
Well, it was between $250 and $750.
All they paid was $250.
I think it was- yeah,
But again, we're here to okay the itinerary.
Yeah.
This other-
Well,
Yeah, but we're having discussion.
Now, about the itinerary,
Kind of.
I'll make a motion to approve the itinerary.
I'll
motion
second.
by Pat, seconded by Kurt. Other discussion relating to the itinerary.
This is.
I don't like the 8 o'clock breakfast on Thursday.
Okay,
Where are they eating breakfast?
All in favor of the dance team itinerary, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, under reports. Board, anything for the cause this evening? Okay, we're moving on. Committee reports. Anyone have anything for us?
We've done that in the policy, curriculum, or facilities. Crap, I'm on all of them. But we will be on the policy one.
Okay, nothing on the committees. Beth?
My summary is basically your report for tonight. If you have any specific questions, but the Rose Bus Workforce is honestly what I've been working on 24/7. They kept moving the dates back because we were waiting for MMR results, and MCA results are in and things like that now, so we had all the data. We also had to look at some of the PBIS results that came in so that staff development could finish theirs. So truthfully, every basically waking breath I've had, I feel like I've been working on the world's best workforce. But it's done now, and we can move forward, and it's actually a document that we can use. So that's basically where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Operations, not here. Principals, not here. Inclement weather. CE and activity report, Jake?
Just a couple things quick. Musical debuted this weekend. It's The Wizard of Oz. One thing I was asked to propose to you guys was they didn't get in on the fundraising this year. They want to be able to sell VIP seating at the performances. They'd be $18 tickets, usually it's $6. So the $6 school would still get the $6 fee like we would do at any other gate, but then 12 would stay within the program. And it helped go to a couple things. Last year they did they went to St. Olaf to watch a performance. They paid for the bus and stuff like that for them, or paid for transportation. So, she thought 13 seats, $12 each, 4 performances, at most they're making $600, $624.
Where are the VIP seats?
There would
It is
be
kinda smart.
one row only. I'm assuming row 1. And she says it'd be available each night of the performance. It provide passive revenue fundraising to the Drama Activity Fund, and it would give the audience a chance to interact with the characters and students from the show. You can buy them in advance.
That's at this next one.
Huh?
The next show.
This one.
Yeah, that's right.
Thursday.
So yeah.
Thursday, right?
Good idea.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Hopefully they don't get a heckler in the front row.
Well,
So-
they should be
Inter-
in there.
Is
interacting
that something we
with
have to
the-
approve?
Well, it's a fundraiser,
fundraiser.
and it didn't get on the fundraiser list. So
I don't see an issue with
Ooh,
it.
and
Kind
after the
of a nebulous
fundraiser,
thing. Do we officially approve it, or just give it a...
An A-OK?
I think we need to officially approve it. So I'll make a motion to approve the fundraising for the
The VIP tickets?
VIP tickets
Let's
for
be
the
specific.
musical.
We will move back to item F,
We have an F? Oh, okay.
We have enough now.
and that's an approval of the fundraiser. Finish this off for me, Jake.
VIP seating, for the
For the-
sale of VIP seating at the musical.
As long as they don't take away the balcony.
Okay, it's approval for a fundraiser, the VIP seating at the upcoming musical. Jerry said, I make that motion,
I'll second Jerry's motion.
and Pat said, I second. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Jake, finish your report.
Just winter sports are underway. Our dance preview is this weekend, so dance team will perform this weekend.
Here in the gym?
Yep. They're
Okay,
home
what,
this weekend.
what time?
7.
7 o'clock Saturday night?
Yep. So boys basketball got started this morning. Wrestling, girls basketball gets started next Monday, and overall numbers are really down actually this winter. So I'm not sure what's going on. And all other than dance, all programs are down.
It was interesting because when we were at our HVL meeting, every single superintendent but one said all their numbers were down this winter. I wonder what's overall going on, because it was a universal thing.
Yeah.
It was actually, the Casson superintendent brought it up, is anyone else seeing this? And I said, it's funny, I just talked to my AD and he said the same thing, so.
How far down are we?
Well, they're down
Wow.
students.
Really?
Casson's
Boys
down 39
basketball's
kids
down.
this year.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
Girls basketball.
They
yeah,
started
kids
doing
from
it.
Wrestling had 9 kids out total
9 kids out total for wrestling, huh?
so far.
Total?
Yeah. Girls basketball probably only play 3 levels. 7th grade JV varsity.
Holy smokes.
Boys basketball numbers are down too, but they'll fill their squads. So.
Holy cow.
How many weight classes are there in wrestling?
13.
13.
Do you think, like Kurt just brought up, do you think that as we've moved through the last couple decades or so, or the last decade and a half, is the traveling teams having a big effect on?
I truly think so. I think kids at a young age think they're either, well, I'm not playing as a 5th grader, if I'm not going to play year round as a 5th grader, I'm not even
They
going
don't
to try
stay
as a
with it.
7th grader, So they don't stick it out. I
So
think they
club
burn
schools.
out, and I think they kind of see at an early age, if they're not playing, they're not going to stick with it.
Well, and I think too, if a young girl chooses volleyball, that almost eliminates her from girls basketball and girls softball because they get so busy with the volleyball. And I'm not picking on volleyball, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if they choose basketball year round, then they're not gonna do, softball or volleyball or whatever.
I think kids would want to play their fall season, but then if they figure, I don't want to play winter or spring, they may figure they don't have a chance then. If they don't do that, so they don't even try coming out.
So they're becoming one sport players.
Yeah, we don't have many 3-sport athletes for sure. And some 2. but-
How sad is that? And it's
I will
not the
say
school,
our
it's everybody.
non-athletic
Right.
organizations, though, continue to grow, in your speech numbers and some of your other non-athletic things, they do tend to, and they're doing well, too. I mean, they represent very well, so.
Is there a way to find out, like, what percentage of our kids are in activities, whether they be school sponsored or club leagues or anything like that, just to know?
How
We
many-
wouldn't know
yeah.
the club numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't run those. So
I know we don't, but is there a way to find out, canvassing the kids or whatever, to find out where are they playing then?
Oh, they're playing in Rochester, Mercedes and Stillwater. Yeah, we play all
We've
over.
got
We
kids
don't have
play. We've got a lot of kids that go play hockey. They can't play hockey out here. That's a winter sport. Those kinds of
But
things.
We don't have any in-house athletics at any level, do we?
Not at the high school level.
Right.
Okay.
What
Thank
do
you, Jake.
students? Oh, they go home too because. of-
Student reports, they're in the same bind as the principals.
No, he actually is he's at the play practice. He felt really, really bad. He was going to bring me his report, but he
There's 2 of them though. Where's the other one?
Upcoming meetings, we are having a board retreat November 12th, which is in 2 days, 6 p.m., Mill Street Tavern. I will make every attempt to hold it to a couple of hours.
We only have an hour.
Come the second hour then. No, I'm
The
just
first
kidding.
hour.
Can I just ask, before we go to the next, is there a way, Beth, or even if Tim or Derek was here, that we could continue to have follow-up on the IT initiative, just get a barometer of how things are going with everything out there? Just because I think we're going to get together for a curriculum committee meeting.
Okay.
I think that's later, but maybe just let us know how things are going, so.
we've increased that too.
Adventure.
I've actually had Enrique come to our admin meetings every Tuesday now.
Mhm.
He starts the meeting, so does facilities, and just so we're always in tune with that too. So I can appreciate that. I think that'd be
Yeah.
actually a great idea.
I'd just like to know what the struggles are, but the things are going well,
Sure.
and get an idea.
Well, I think we're talking about trying to get a tech curriculum committee together.
Yeah, yeah,
We kind of
I
did something.
will email the SCCU on that.
okay.
We did something like that, but, I think more, more meeting to see how, because, you know, tech's got their own side, and again, we got three sides of tech. You got the infrastructure, you got the one-to-one, and you have the technology itself from staff development and then from curriculum, so.
Okay, yeah.
But we digress. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep us on track somehow, but we got a regular board meeting November 24th. Again, if you have anything for that agenda, let Beth know, let Lori know, and we'll get it on the agenda.
Also, let me know if there's any presenters you want. Like I said, I'll do that for the second board meeting of every month, but if there's something specific that you want, let me know.
Meeting?
And then also set aside those dates for MSBA. Josh, if you could do that too. It is a really amazing conference, and they have phase 1 and 2 training that I think both of our newer members could tell you that's really good on just how to be a board member and what that entails. So if everyone could set aside those dates, it was 14th, 15th, 16th of January.
That's what it was.
Good conference. You'll
It
get
is-
a lot.
it
You'll
is-
get a lot out of it.
It is probably one of the best of the year.
You'll learn a lot the first conference there.
Okay, I think we've got our business taken care of this evening. I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Jerry. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Brenda. Any other discussion? All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.